Okay,
There we are.
recording in progress. All right, well, welcome everybody. Um, Today is July 17th, 2026, Friday. Welcome to MVP Office Hours. We're super glad you're here today. Um, we have some upcoming office hours. August 7th, August 21st is right on schedule. It's amazing, Squire. We
Yeah,
have
it
been
worked
off
out.
schedule for so long. And then we're back on September 4th. And Squire and I didn't talk about this yet, but I'm definitely taking off the week of Dreamforce for MVP Office
You know what? We talk about this all the time. Should we do a little office hour meetup or something? We always think about it after the week is up. Do you think we should figure something out?
We can talk about this after later. I have some other things I'm trying to juggle.
As always. As always. All right.
All right, and because you're all here, you already know where to register, but bit.ly/MVPOH is where you can go to register for our next meeting. And then our recordings are available on YouTube. The link is at the bottom. Square, I think in the notes, speaker notes for this slide, if you could put those in the chat for everybody, that'd be super helpful.
Got it.
Um, we typically meet on the first and third Fridays. You can find Squire and I on LinkedIn. We do have a Gmail, but we don't recommend you use it. We prefer if you use the community um, link, and we'll share that with you in a moment. I do believe Midwest Dreaming is happening as we speak. They're wrapping up today, and I wasn't able to get time away from work to go this year, but it sounded like they had a really great event planned. Next week is Witness Success in Indianapolis, and then following that is Buckeye Dreamin' in Columbus, SoCal Dreamin' in Newport Beach in August, and Mile High Dreamin' in Denver in August also. And then we come to Dreamforce in September. So we have a very exciting Q3 for events in the area. So I know how to use my computer. Um, the success community is your friend. The QR code will get you to where we catch all of your questions because Square and I don't answer emails very well. Uh, and Square, if you could put the link to this community space also in the chat, that'd be helpful for those on the line.
Mhm.
We do invite everyone to share their experience and insights and ideas with the group. Post links, resources, and answers in the chat. If you didn't hear at the beginning, we are recording. We are recording. We are recording, and we want everyone to understand that this is going to live on YouTube for a long time. Um, Please do not share any private or proprietary information or something that will get you in hot water in any way, shape, or form. And under no circumstances can our call be transcribed by an AI tool. This is a community space for the people that are here, and we're welcome to share that with everyone. But if you have thoughts, feelings, and opinions about what we're talking about, like take some notes yourself. We do want to have fun and let's say professional and positive so everyone has a job tomorrow. And then tell a friend and invite them to join us because we do have I love when we have new faces pop up on the call. It's one of my favorites, and I hope we don't scare anyone away. Okay. So we do have one announcement that I want to stop. And I wanted to say congratulations to all the new Salesforce MVPs that were um, included for 2026, the class of 2026. And one of the things we say in this call is that everybody here is a Salesforce MVP. We're glad you're here. We're glad you're spending time learning and talking and collaborating and sharing your ideas and solutions with other people because that's how the community grows. And without you, we, you know, we don't learn what the best practices are because some of us have to learn the hard way every time. But specifically, I wanted to say congratulations to Linda. Linda is part of the 2026 class of Salesforce MVPs and well deserved. Linda is one of my former coworkers and one of my favorite people, and one of what one of the people I say is like one of the smartest people I know. Um, Squire gets billed that some days too, and I have one other coworker who has come into that realm. But Linda, you by and far, if I have a question about Salesforce, I'm like, I don't know what the answer is, but I know someone who does. And I can certainly like tap into Linda every first and third Friday here. So Linda, congratulations. We're super glad that you join our call and contribute to our community on the regular. So hugs and kisses. We love you. All right. We have Bill and Jay, who are, oh, Bill is here, fantastic. Jay, who has been sending us questions but not joining us lately. So Jay is one of my Chicago community group members, and I see him when we have our in-person events. But this cracks me up because he just keeps sending stuff here, and then he must catch the recordings. But I really enjoy Jay. He's one of it all, and Sarah's got follow-ups. Fantastic. Okay. Um, so we have these three questions, and then last go round, Sarah said she couldn't join this week, but wanted to follow up with Salesforce support, help her figure out the app that is still using the API login, own data. I can't just revoke, so now I'm not sure how to proceed. So since Sarah is here and Bill is here, we will probably focus on those two to start, and Jay is going to have to wait. But we can get the links in the chat for the other two items if any of you want to ponder on those while we're discussing. Square, you want to flip a coin and decide if we're going to go with Sarah or Bill? Because Bill's like, oh, if there's time, and Sarah's kind of, two meetings ago that I would really like to find out more about Owen because selfishly, I am also afflicted by this problem.
Well, I tell you what, I think Bill's question is probably 5 minutes tops. So,
Okay.
and if not, I apologize. I'm not trying to cut you off, Bill. So let's just really
Or
quickly
is-
dive in. Um,
Bill, your side eye was epic.
yeah.
All right. So want me to go through it real quick, Squire, or just
Yeah. I mean, I think we've got some quick answers for you. So yeah, dive in.
yeah.
What you got?
I mean, we're moving to that SLDS 2.0 Cosmos
Yep.
theme, and so I'm tasked with testing, making sure nothing breaks, things like that. So I want to know if anybody else had any issues. I'm curious if anybody else had any issues. And the other part B to this is the dark mode comes along with Cosmos supposedly, but you know what? I'm not finding it anywhere, and I don't know whether it's me or Salesforce or what. So I'm curious if anybody else has been able to enable it. I thought it
Sure.
was live.
Linda.
No.
Linda.
We recently went through this, so like we made our move, I would say the beginning of June to Cosmos. So there were definitely some surprises where we had to alter some existing LWCs and things. I will say are some of the complaints I hear are things like there's no background color anymore. So when I go to sandboxes, it becomes difficult to remember I'm in a sandbox. So yes. Um, dark mode in the actual theme and setting, there is a checkbox where you have to enable dark mode. And
Right.
then your users have to make the switch from their icon. So it's a two-step process.
Yep.
I say the gotcha for us is the logo we put on our pages does not translate to dark mode well at all because it
Do
is
they not
already
have
dark.
do they not have the inverse option?
It does not inverse the
Okay.
logo. I kind of wish it allowed you to put, yeah, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Squire. I really wish they allowed you to put in two branding images, one for regular mode and one for dark mode, but they have not. It's just the one. So either choose something with a bright color that shows up good on white and black, or I don't know what you're gonna do.
No transparent background is what I'm hearing.
Well, it does do the J, the PNG thing, but
Well, right. What I'm saying is like if you choose a transparent background, right? You could lose it in the dark, right? But if you have
if it's got dark colors, you are going to lose it in the dark.
yes.
So just keep that in
Oh,
mind.
man.
I was warned that if you're using the LDS to the linter to check your code, things that are warnings will in the future become errors. So fix those too.
I've been tested and I haven't had any problems. So
And
So, yeah.
I feel like most people develop pretty simple things, so you're not gonna run into a lot of issues there. Just we did a lot of thorough testing though of our flows, and our flows use a lot of unofficial SF. So
sure.
and most of those seem to be okay. So phew.
Yeah. We when we did ours, similar to what Linda was describing, we didn't our linter tests didn't. I mean, there were warnings, not errors, and we haven't had any issues. The only thing that we've had the most problem with is some older installed packages that we just can't do anything about. And so we've had to kind of throw a little communication to say, oh, by the way, if you're using such and such app, you might have a weird situation and let us know and we'll start logging them. But because we can't do anything about it, it's kind of like a shrug. But yeah, all four of our orgs converted over. We didn't have anything dramatic, other than some of the stuff, like Linda, like you were saying, a couple LWCs didn't like the styling or a branding logo or things like that. So
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. The weird thing though, guys, too, is I've been in there to convert it, and I don't see that beta box that somebody just put up on the screen.
really,
I don't see it at all. I even tried creating a whole new, my custom theme, let's put it that way, a whole new separate theme, and it did not come up. That's what I don't get. And this is probably partially a me preference because I like dark mode.
yeah.
It's easier on the eyes.
Um, I don't believe there was an addition
I
tag to this rollout, was there?
I don't think so. I remember when I did it, like I didn't see it the first time when I set it up. It's like I had to go back into the theme after I activated it and then turned it on.
Okay. I'll take a look.
And it does still read beta. I know it was
Um,
supposed to be live this last
it
release, but
does
it's
say
still tagging
beta, and it does say eligible additions.
Oh, there is additions. Okay.
Yes.
And I
Google,
thought,
the Googles told me. I don't know much about it myself.
yeah, no, I'm still not seeing it. That's weird. All right. Maybe I'll have to contact Salesforce. Say, hey,
Should go lock it down because it should be there. In fact, it should have been there even multiple releases prior. It's been in beta for I think 2 or 3 releases now. So
yeah.
it is surprising. So
All right. No worries,
what
guys.
edition are
Thank
you
you
on?
much.
Yeah. Hey, Bill, I put my little Google search in the chat for you. If you want to poke
Okay.
around that and see where it takes you from there.
We'll do.
I've been told that I'm very good at Google search. I should really turn those into prompts. Uh, Taco says hi.
There you go.
He really wants to go outside. The air quality says no. The air quality says no. All right. Did we get everything answered then, Bill? How do
We're
you feel?
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're in
Thank
a
you.
good place. So that was a little bit more than 5 minutes, but I think we're gonna be I think Squire, your estimate was spot on. Sarah,
Yeah.
are you ready?
I'm
Are you
so
ready?
ready. Yeah. So I did contact Salesforce support. So for those who weren't here or a refresher,
Mhm.
I was getting an message, an email that was like, hey, some of your logins are still using OAuth, it's going away, or the SOAP login API, like you better change that up before they go away. And I was like, what is this connected app? I cannot find it anywhere. Turns out its own backup. Woo! And I think that probably what it is that some of the older services, so like every time you authenticate in the service, or like if you refresh a sandbox, you have to authenticate. And I wonder if some of the old services are using the old SOAP login or not. I haven't done any research since finding out this information because I'm sort of like, oh, okay, I know what it is at least. I'm not gonna like be too worried about it. It's not some weird potential threat as far as I know. If own backup is a threat, that's a big problem.
Yes.
So I'm assuming it's some of the older sandboxes that are still connected that either maybe don't even exist anymore or got refreshed and just their login protocol is old. And I would assume that any new services I'm signing up with aren't using that API, but I don't know because I haven't tested yet. But I just wanted to bring that back to the group as a like close the loop, figured it out kind of a story.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I
Anyway.
have heard that they are still working on the move for that for own so that the authentication uses external connections in the future.
Got it.
Also heard from Gearset the same.
So I trust that they're going to sort it out and I'll deal with it when they have.
We just along that same note, we discovered that there's a handful of non-iPhone password manager apps that still have old SOAP connectors that have been causing my bankers no end of grief. So if you're still getting alerts, that could be the next thing, and you should be able to find who's using what through either the login logs or if you've got Shield through the those are better logs actually. But yeah, that could be throwing errors, even though it's not Salesforce and nothing we can control. Someone might be using something on their Samsung G that they don't like. So
Yeah. Yep.
cool. Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. Thank you
Alright.
for your help last time.
In this something, yeah, I'll whatever help, insight. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes we have
Yeah.
different
It's just
different
nice to
impact.
share and commiserate and, be like, I feel seen. Like that counts. That's enough, right?
Sure.
Hey, let's even though Jay's not here, I would
Stacy
love,
said
yeah, I would love
Stacy
that.
has an answer from the 24th. And so to recap, in a scheduled flow, Jay needed to add a record type name in the filter conditions, but the only thing he sees is record type ID. How do I get around not hard coding the value? And so Stacy, are you ready to tackle this one?
I can. I realized that I actually just I opened up Zoom on my tablet instead of my computer because I was
It's really
getting
hard to
ready to
share.
screen share.
That's
Yeah, I was
okay.
getting ready to screen share. I was like, wait a minute, I can't do this, but I can talk through it.
Yeah, no,
for
that's
sure.
fine.
As an entry condition, you can use the formula. I'm going to find it. I had it already.
See you later. Safe travels.
Yep.
Bye.
It's in a record triggered flow. You've got your entry conditions, and one of the, I choose account. One of the options, so it says condition requirements, none. All conditions are met, which is the and. Any condition is met, that is the or. Custom condition logic, you've got a few and you can choose the order that they're evaluated with ands and ors. Or formula evaluates to true. You can use formula to say $record dot record type dot name equals, and then whatever the literal is, household or organization or company, whatever it is. And if that evaluates to true, then it meets that requirement. If you have multiple requirements, pretty much anything that you can point and click and make those filters and requirements on each line, you can also put into a formula. And I'm a big fan of formulas.
Sorry, that's amazing. Like I'm muting on like 3 different devices.
And I learned that trick from Michael Kolodner.
Oh, Michael, where are you today? That's fantastic.
He's at Midwest Dreamin'.
Right. That's right. He is at Midwest Dreamin' today.
I will also say developer name over name because sometimes admins change labels on you or the business asks for label changes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's even better.
The other thing we do is we actually have a formula field on a lot of our objects that shows that records that developer name of the record type, and then we can use that within flows.
So you don't have to transverse as many relationships.
Yeah.
And so
That's
you don't have
nice.
to think about it because you're just picking a field from the object directly if you're
Yeah.
using the drop down and not the formula method.
Right.
We've done something similar using a custom metadata data table as our kind of our constants list. So you refer to a record that is this record this, and now you've got a way to not edit the flow when you want to change the record type name or the label or the developer name, things like that. And you use that for lots of combinations. Like one we've done in the past is if we want to have a date of like, say, like the last interaction date, we want it to be within the last 6 months. If we want to modify that to be maybe the last 3 months, we've got like a switchboard effectively that holds a custom metadata record that holds that value that our flows and our everything can go look at. So that's another, if depending on how dynamic you need it to be, of course. What you're describing, Stacey, solves this problem perfectly. I don't want to take away from that. But if you've got lots of ifs and ands and you're trying to figure out the best way to make sure you don't have to manage a dozen entry criteria, that's one way to do it.
Winning.
Oh, one last thing. I think the only gotcha to kind of look out for, I think, is when it is Yeah, I'm not seeing that here. When the record is updated and meets the condition versus when the record uh, is updated to meet the condition. But I don't see that
Yeah, I'm not sure you can
here.
do that with formula evaluation.
Yeah, because it's at
Yeah.
runtime, so it's got to have it doesn't care about having been committed to recalculate the formula. So it's either
Okay.
it's either a before or after triggered that we'd have to use for that situation.
Oh,
You
okay.
can use like is change. Like I've definitely done combinations of a formula like is like do an or and have like is new or this is changed or whatever to like basically create everything within the formula. It's a little bit hard to read later on, but
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Which, Sarah, that makes me think too. Just the other day, we had this really great lunch conversation at work about the difference between is blank and is null and where it
oh
applies,
man.
and all, right? Like, and
Yeah.
like you're talking through all that, and like newer admins or non-developers are like, but blank is null. Like, well,
Uh, yeah.
no. Well, what about a date field? Interesting conversation. So yeah, it was good. We
Yeah.
may all regret having the conversation, honestly, but
Yeah. And like Salesforce's official advice is in almost every case you want to use is blank and not is null, but
right.
like sometimes you have to. Or like
Yeah.
sometimes I do blah de blah equals null rather than using is null. And I don't know if there's a difference between those, but like it's easier in my brain sometimes.
Yeah.
Like especially if I'm doing like an if statement rather than like if is null. So like not having the nested functions, but
Yeah.
just do if this field equals null. Anyway.
If not is null equals
Right.
null. Yeah. It's great to try to turn that into something that makes any sense. Yeah, I love those.
Yeah. I really wish at some point Salesforce's formula editor would get colors or something.
Really? I mean,
I mean, that'd be
like
cool.
an
Like,
IDE?
yeah, wouldn't that be
Yeah.
cool?
Yeah, I
I
agree.
don't know. At least highlight my parentheses for me. That's all I really need.
I mean, a lot of people don't, well, I bet you everyone on this call knows this, but when I was told many years ago that you could put comments in your formula, just like you can put comments in your code.
Oh yeah, I always forget that.
Yeah, like writing a line, like a line of text in the middle of your formula when you've got a really complex one can be so, like, can save you so many ways. It's all those little things, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Stacy, by the way, for coming back on that because
That's amazing. Sarah, I'm sorry, Stacy, yes, thank you. Sarah, I used to leverage like Notebook plus plus to get to drop my code, like to move that over, because it helped organize.
Yeah. A lot of the time I'll plop it in VS Code or whatever, but
Yeah.
I'm just like, wouldn't it be nice if it was
And
there
I really
already?
feel like I used to have a Chrome plugin, and because I don't feel like I did a lot of copy and
Oh,
pasting,
yeah.
I feel like I had some kind of plugin that like surfaced that for me. It wasn't Salesforce native, it was in the browser.
Yeah, that probably exists.
If I find it, because
Yeah.
I'm really good at Google searching.
Yeah.
If I find it, I'll let you know.
Great.
That's amazing. All right. So we had one more question to tackle for Jay. If no one else has any questions, I know Squire, you had mentioned the MFA challenges and the step up challenges coming. Oh my gosh, this week, today,
20th.
tomorrow.
All ready for,
Monday.
so the step up is already in place.
Yep.
And MFA is on Monday. Privileged MFA.
Yeah.
Privilege
think-
MFA for production sandboxes, unless you got exceptions granted, are already enforced.
Yep.
Unless you asked for an extension. with
Which
them
the extension
somehow.
is not very long. It's like a month, I think, if I'm not
No, it's
mistaken.
till the end of September.
Okay. Oh, that helps. That helps. I need like a year, but I'll take September.
So there's that, and then the
The
other
only negative is if you're extending sandboxes, you can only like request so many at a time. So it's a lot of tickets if you're doing
Yep.
a lot of them.
that
Yep.
explains why everyone was asking why my sandbox was still existing over in a dark corner of the world. I was like, please don't touch it. It's on hold because I'm waiting for the big deployments to happen. Like, please don't touch it. Don't throw it away. And then so we've got Jay's question about the flow that updates campaigns, which has lookups to agents. Wow, that's a lot. but also I wanted to, Squire, did you see the announcement
Might have to be more.
about profiles getting retired is not happening. So profiles are not retiring with the permissions the way we had originally thought, which takes us back to like 3-4 years ago debate about things. However, best practice is still put this on permission sets in whatever fashion you happen to favor.
Yep.
I thought
I'll say it means the urgency to move those things in there, but if you're doing like managed deployments via tools or not change sets, so repositories and source control
Mhm.
and all that, or if you're hoping to move to scratch orgs, highly recommend permission sets over profiles.
Yep.
Agreed. I had to get up in front of my team and basically say, I know you all saw this. Our project is still slated to be done by the end of the year. We're fully converting. There's no leniency because of this and all the stuff you just described, Lena. It's like it is going to be so much better in the long run if we just get this done. So stop your belly aching.
Yeah. The best practice is still moving to perm sets and perm set groups and pulling the stuff off the profile. But here we are. It was a shocker. Like the team was just like,
Yeah.
woohoo! And I was like, no, 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 no. Last summer was all dedicated to fixing this. Like, no, no, no,
Yeah.
no. Okay, so do we have any other questions? Oh, Stacy, thank you for that. VS Code, Notepad++, and Sublime Text. Sublime Text, I think, might have been the one that I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Um,
Actually, could I add a follow on as long as we're talking about profile permissions? Because
yeah.
I was just in the admin FSC class, trying to get up to speed to help my team, and I'd completely forgotten about restriction sets and scoping rules. Does anybody use them, and have you had any success using them? I know what they're
Res-
for, but like, has anybody actually done it?
So we've used restriction rules before when we've had interns,
Okay,
but what I find is that it doesn't carry over everywhere.
say more.
So while it restricts them, maybe like while they're in the account object from seeing the related tasks that we don't want them to see at that moment, they can still find them and see them if they really want to.
Okay,
So it's like limited scope of restriction, I call it. Like it doesn't block them from everything. If they're determined to find it, they will find that record.
interesting. All right. And you said activity, but is it only activity that's the problem, or is it anything?
No, it's anything.
Yeah. Yeah, we tend to be so, I'll call it fine-grained, that we haven't found a reason to use a restriction rule. And in our cases, the scoping opportunities just feel like easier filters, and we want people to write their own reports already. We giving them more reasons not to made it like, we're not going to do that. So, but like, I guess in a larger orgs, scoping could be great for like list views and things like that, right?
I have not tried that one. The other thing I've seen though is at one point with the restriction rules, I think you could have more than one piece of criteria per rule, but it seems to be like now you can't.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Cool. Appreciate the candor.
Yeah, I didn't touch those things. That sounds crazy. No thanks.
Yeah, I was not happy when I found some. I was like, does this really work?
Like when we were talking about the muting permissions with perm sets and perm set groups or whatever, I was like, oh, this is great. But then when you find out that the mute only works inside the perm set group, and so if one of those perm sets gets applied separately, the muting doesn't apply to the outlier. That was also like a hard lesson. Got to learn things the hard way. It's the best way for me to learn.
Yeah.
As long as you're not surprised, right?
I mean, learning the hard way is, I don't know, it's painful, but
I've
sometimes
just-
it's the way you got to do it.
Definitely painted myself into an intimidating corner of like the same permission could be granted in multiple ways in our org now. And I'm like, untangling this is gonna be such a mess. But I know I have to do it. It's just
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
ugh.
It'll be okay. It'll be
I
okay.
know. I know. It'll be
I
better.
I do have a very specific juggling act. And I think I know what the answer is, but and it just makes me sad. Um, we have a managed package that has taken over object name as an auto number. The business is not happy with this format. Business doesn't like it because it is truly just I think it's year, month, auto number, 4-digit auto number, right? And as you know, when the 4 digits rolls to 5, it just extends it. Okay, why? Whatever. The business wants the object initials to lead this, but because it's a managed package, I can't change it, right? So the solution that was applied was to create an additional field called object number field. It's an auto number, follows the format that they like. We have another field that's called object that is the hyperlink that displays that vanity number with a link to the record. Right? Yeah, maybe you can see where this is going. Maybe you can't. One of the challenges that I just saw when I was walking through what the testers were doing was that the tab list view, well, hello, who let you in? Uh, you're muted. The tab list view has the object name, not the vanity object name, not the vanity name. And so I've got like the quick link, the quick list view, and then I've got the vanity number that does not agree. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe we can make this a little bit better and reset the auto numbers. The documentation to reset the auto numbers is to change the field type to text and then
Yep.
back to auto number and force feed the next number or the other number,
Yep.
whatever that is, fine. So I go to test out to do this and I cannot because there's Apex hanging off the vanity link and the vanity number. So I think the answer is I have to, I don't know. I'm going to have to untangle
Make a
all of
whole
it.
new one, Joy.
A new one.
This,
And
it's what,
then have the developers update the
it's,
Apex.
it's so painful
It's
that
object name
I'm,
too.
it's so painful that I am ready to be like, your vanity name is out. You just are going to go with the managed package name because it's so bad. It's so bad. Like in my perspective as a user to like see my object record name that I'm expecting versus that tab list of like recent, like they don't correlate at all. I mean, all the search results have been updated and all of the other things have been updated, but that one thing, that tab menu with the little caret like on that tab does
Yeah.
I don't never heard anyone trying to change that or anything because name is a special field.
Yeah, I don't think I've never heard of anybody try to change that. I don't know if you can.
I if you can, I don't know what to call it. Like they have a very special name for it and it's secret.
Mhm.
It seems like a list view with one column. And
Yeah.
it can't be named. Like, but name has to be displayed. But anyway, ponder on that one. And I think the answer is just untangle the apex and then do the reset and then put it back together. But
Yeah.
didn't really want to do that.
No, the rename, it honestly, it's actually pretty elegant to do it that way. It's just that, yeah, the other problem doesn't go away. But yes, I've had
Record
that mobile.
record name is special. Record name is special. That's
I'll
all
even
it
go
is.
one step further. We've had to do it where we did the text thing, then we renamed everything to add all the new leading zeros because to your point, they wanted to go from 4 to like 6.
Mhm.
We turned it to text, relabeled everything to have leading zeros, then put it to auto number and started the new counter with more zeros so that it looked
Mhm.
right. And then had to do it again 2 years later because they're like, no, we only want 6 digits. And then it hit 7. They're like, told you.
That's
So
one of my biggest fears in creating new objects is like, am I gonna have enough zeros?
yeah, yeah.
How many
I
is too
mean,
many? I don't know. Like, am I gonna
yeah.
be here for 20 years?
Yeah.
What are we talking
Who
about?
knows? Or is this a problem for, like junior admin that replaces Joy 10 years from now. Like it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, okay, is 100,000 records going to be enough? I don't know.
This is the thing. I don't know. Like I don't, and the thing is because it's a year month for digit, right? It would be really great if it just reset each month, right? So that we
That would be
started back,
cool.
we started back at 1 on the
Yep.
next month, but I don't think that's the case. So
Yeah.
don't just, it's fine. It's fine.
You could build a flow to create a name that figures out if it's the new month and then figures out the max value and increments by one. That'll be great. Think about how much work value you'll deliver if you write that flow.
Yeah. Check all records, find the oldest record.
I'm
What was
trying
the
to get
number
out
on
of the
that
weeds,
one?
Squire. I'm trying to get out of the
So that like
weeds.
when the next year comes and it's the same month,
Yep.
do you like go to the next number? Like, so this is all your August and like your August's number 100 or whatever.
I
Oh my
mean, you know,
God.
it's like, do we put
love
day
it.
in there and just have the fourth? I don't know.
I
It's
love it.
fine. It doesn't
I
matter.
feel
It's
like this
not
is what
my.
they deal with like creating license plate numbers, right? Same problem.
Oh man. Oh man.
And
So
never mind if someone says, well, if we delete one of these, I want to reuse that auto number. How do I do that? Right?
mm-hmm.
Ugh, users, they're the worst.
They're the best because they're the reason I have a job.
Well, fair,
You know.
fair.
And you know, they're really good at testing for things that nobody thought of. Like, oh, that's a new requirement, but let's do that. That's great. So do we have any other questions in the chat or in the people's brains? And you guys want to like come off mute and talk to us?
I have one question.
Yeah, Scott, what do you got?
Did anybody else go through all of the time and effort to be prepared for the anti-phishing MFA in their sandboxes months ahead of time, only to be rewarded with being locked out of all of your sandboxes the week they enabled it?
I do think that happened quite a bit. I wasn't one of those people because we asked for an extension.
Yes, when it happened, I came in Monday morning and I knew it was related, and I, of course, assumed I had done something wrong. And I went through 5 different browsers, Wi-Fi. I mean, I tried every possible permutation, and I got the same thing every time. And I spent hours writing this detailed repro. And like 20 minutes before I was done, I got the notice from Salesforce saying that this is happening. It's a known issue. It's like, oh, well, okay, that was good practice.
I did manage to lock myself out of 1Password for a short moment while trying to set up
Ooh.
my phishing related passkey. It was very scary for a little while there, but
Yeah.
another computer plus my mobile phone got us through.
Yeah, I got a little flutter just hearing you say that.
I know. It was like, what did I just do? Oh my God. Because I have it was like the combination of a physical security key and 1Password's passkey, and it got very stuck in a loop on itself. But
I've seen also where users are getting stuck because they set up Lightning login.
yeah.
So luckily, I have all my sandboxes in my CLI, so I can open them that way, which is technically not a UI login. So I get around it. And can set them, remove their Lightning login and get them going again.
I'm
Brilliant,
actually
Linda.
still confused though about
That's the first thing I do. Like I get logged in and then I set up in the CLI so that I can open it, usually without problems.
I have a friend at a consulting firm that said non-privileged users are now being prompted to do the anti-phishing MFA. They can get around it if they click on the little teeny link that they're not looking for that says, view other methods.
They are. So the latest is that they will be presented with that option first to set up an anti-phishing MFA, and then they can click the choose another method if they so wish.
Yeah.
The exception to that, though, is if the user, for some reason, has view all data or modify all data somewhere in their permissions, not just for a single object, but overall, they are going to have the anti-phishing MFA.
Yep.
I'd like to know why the heck they have that data. View all data, modify all data.
I would hope to laziness for setting up auditors.
Yeah, or
Mhm.
you know, I found that a lot of my users had view all data because when I was a tiny baby admin, I had no idea, and I gave them all that permission. There was a permission set that says view all data, and
Take
everybody
it
had
away.
it.
Take
And
it
I was
away
like,
and they
oh
can
no,
log
no,
in
we're
fine.
taking
Just
that
take
away
it
now.
away. They can log
Yeah,
in fine.
exactly. That's what I did. It's great.
You can't see anything that you saw yesterday, but you can log in.
That's what I told them. I'm like, well, if you suddenly can't access your records, let me know. But
Leonard,
uh,
sorry, I'm gonna make you go back to something you just said. So you were saying if you've got view all or modify all at an object level, that is also permissioned, or it's only at
No,
the
only if
system?
it's the system level.
Okay, cool. All right. Whew.
like
Yes.
So
all data.
So the reason I asked is we have a small list of users we call our stewards that need to have like view all, modify all, because their job is to fix everybody else's problems so we don't have to. And but that's it. That's at the object level that we've done that. So I just wanted to make sure we're like, oh my God, we're not chasing our tails on this, are we? So all right, appreciate it. Thank you.
I do have some
It is
oh,
making me think a lot though before I grant view all or modify all in an object moving forward. Like,
Yeah.
There
do
should
I
really be a
need
pop-up with
do
that
I
that says,
need to
by the
do
way.
do I need to do sharing on this object instead so that I don't have to deal with this in the future if they change their mind about how they're doing security?
Yeah.
yeah.
So our recap of the whole profiles and permission sets stuff we had right before Mike joined, and we had this whole podcast swear with you and Mike, and
Just got to
we
delete it
didn't
now. It doesn't matter anymore.
we
Yeah,
didn't get Mike's
but
perspective on
three
this.
three out of the four who know it really well were present, so I feel like we're okay.
Yeah, we're all right. We're just fine. Should just do a little like 3-minute PSA, and it's just like, we know you saw the update. Ignore it. Stay on task. Do what you were going to do, even if it's not going to get sunset.
I think I can arrange that podcast, that short
Yeah.
and sweet like PSA. Maybe we can tag that on. I'll have to talk to
Mm-hmm.
my sound engineer.
Do it like one of those, like what they did out of TDX, where it's just like these quick hits of all the influential community members, where they're just like, no, no,
Stay the course.
just do it.
Stay the course. Stay
Yeah.
the course.
I mean,
I think
if
we
you've
just
ever been audited, like if you've ever had if you've been in an org that had to have a compliance audit, you will wish that you had a sensible model that could explain and map and connect what people do, like their actual job function, and the access that you have given them. And whether we are forcing that on people or not, you ought to do it.
Yeah.
That being said, you should also design your validation rules well. And nobody does that either. So, or have a naming convention in any aspect of life. Nobody does that either. Exercise and eat well. Same.
I have like 3 versions of a naming convention that have evolved over time. How about that?
I love that.
So you all super light summer. This is great. Like no
Yeah.
more problems, no one's
Okay.
upset about anything.
But for the MFA, going back to that for a minute. So I am a little confused because I tried to set up a physical key and 1Password like intercepted and was like, no, use your pass key, which is great. And I'm loving it. Like I'm actually loving using the 1Password. But like now there's this sort of like, can you both have a physical key registered and like and a pass key from a password manager? Is that possible?
Not for the same org for the same user. I
Okay.
have found different users for the same org. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because
But
it's set at the user level, right? Like
Right.
just like the which authenticator you use, it's locked in
Yeah.
there, I believe, right?
and you can only have one phishing resistant at a time is I think true.
I believe that's true.
Okay. Cool.
All right, I got another random question. I think I've asked this in the past, but it's come up again on our side of things. I'm curious if anybody's dealt with it. We got a ping from Salesforce that we were out of MSA compliance because we had built an object that looked a lot like an opportunity, and we weren't paying full license costs for users using that thing.
Mm.
So, which I kind of get it.
Wait,
Our MSA is
so
fortunately 13 years out of date.
you build
Oh,
a custom object that resembled opportunity.
So yeah, a little bit more history. So we have platform users and we have full Sales Cloud users, and the
Sure.
platform users historically were not using any Sales Cloud functionality. One of those personas decided that they wanted to be able to track what they call a deal, but it's not really an opportunity. It's almost like after the fact opportunity tracking. So there's no products, there's no pricing, that nothing you get out of opportunity. It really more of like it's almost like an interaction. Anyway,
It's like the onboarding of a new customer or product situation,
kind
or
of. I mean, so we're in financial services. We're in this situation where a lot of times deals happen, and where they're like, "Oh yeah, we did have a deal. Let's log that somehow," right? Like that's just how bankers think sometimes. Re re Regardless, we have this thing that kind of smells like a light opportunity. Um, and the audit ping hits, and they're like, "You're out of MSA because you should be you're paying for Sales Cloud licenses, and you've built an opportunity which would be covered by the licenses, and you're not using it, so you got to fix that." So we're in a good position because we've got a 13-year-old MSA, and we're like, it doesn't say that in the current MSA, so
I
we're
thought
not.
you were going to say a 13-year-old developer.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Well, sometimes I feel like we've got those too, but um, so we kind of got out from underneath it, but we're confident that when renegotiation comes up, somebody smart's going to be like, "Oh, by the way, we need new MSAs for you." And we wanted to then the point of this whole question is, has anybody dealt with this? What's the extent of it if you have? And what we really are concerned about is we we've been uh leveraging Salesforce for almost 15 years now, and Financial Services Cloud only existed as of what, 16, I think, 19, something like that.
Right.
So we've kind of built our versions of FSC type functionality over the 15 years.
Right.
We're not paying for FSC licenses. So the way I'm reading it, I don't think we're underneath
I,
the umbrella of you should have been paying for. It's more like you are paying for it, you're not using it. So, that's a lot of questions. Has anybody dealt with one of these sorts of audits, and what have you done about it?
so I haven't dealt with an object, like a custom object that resembles something else type of um hand slap. I mean, I've gotten my hand slapped because the marketing people were sharing a license.
Yep. Yep.
They're like four of them sharing a login, and they got their hand slapped. I said, you need to stop doing this. If you need a license, you need to ask for it. Because the whole thing's going to get shut down. I would be curious if they would share with you what about that object is too close to what they are expecting, and then see if you can rectify that in some way. Like,
Yeah.
is it that like you're tracking the dollars, or you're like whatever, and who says it's not an expense report? Who says it's not? Like, I like trying to understand what it is. And if it's just like a kind of like a shadow object of an opportunity, like then that's kind of sketch.
Yeah. So I mean, and like I said, when I said it smells like an opportunity, it has fields and data collection that resemble the sorts of things you would track if you were using an opportunity, but it's not like opportunity 2.0 in any form. So
It's
which
not
is
product too.
no, I mean it has no children, it doesn't do any calculations. It's really like if
Yeah.
you took the end result of an opportunity, a closed opportunity, and put it in a new object, that's kind of what it is.
Is
And
is it is it like a follow-up to opportunity? Like, is it like an action after the fact?
it's
Is
really
it like a heavy task,
no
a heavy
Is it
activity?
reporting storage?
that's probably the best way to summarize it. Is it like, so again, think about like maybe the best way to explain it without extending what our bankers do and don't want to do. Over time, if you are looking at opportunity success, like in sales opportunity, that might be indicative to go back and try to sell to them again. But we we're not, it's not the opportunity itself. It's more like the outcomes. Like, oh yeah, we had 5 conversations. It's almost like assessing leads that actually store additional data, kind of. Um,
It's not just a lead that was converted and an opportunity one. It is now they are another, like, it's almost like a marketing assessment of how they did. And
Yeah.
so maybe some of the phraseology and the way you like present that back to Salesforce will help you understand like what the disconnect is and what they're seeing.
I mean, they've got a pretty good write-up, and their point. I mean, from the MSA, the current MSA perspective, we are out of MSA. It is because it's written real fluffy. I mean, they're trying to make money, and Salesforce has good lawyers, and so the MSA is pretty clear. Fortunately, our MSA is 13 years old, and it's not written the way the current ones are. So we were able to go like, oh, not a problem today. But when the negotiation starts, we kind of know we're going to have to convert that, and we kind of always did. But what I'm more concerned about is like we don't use FSC, but we've built a party structure. So has anybody dealt with this where like will an audit suggest that we could have bought a license, not that we aren't using the license we own?
But just for
that.
one piece of functionality of that package,
Yep,
that doesn't make sense.
that's what it was. I mean, it was literally a single object where they're like, these people have.
Because I feel like FSC, there's like,
Yeah, I know.
I can't even
Well,
tell you how many managed packages you have to install to make it work, but
well,
it's a lot and a lot of objects, and there's a lot of functionality behind it. If you created one object that's kind of like
yep.
what's an FSC? I mean, did you reverse engineer to get there, or was it just an idea you guys had and you implemented that? Like,
That. But that's also true for the thing that we got caught for, which is like we're not using all of Sales Cloud. We've got a single object that kind of feels like a moving part of Sales Cloud. I mean, it's scale. Your point is valid, Linda, but it's like at the end of the day, we're just trying to make sure like, well, what if they try to come at us again, what's our stance and what are we in for? And so like this opportunity light thing, we're kind of like, we're probably gonna have to rebuild that. We're already planning for it. We're also planning to have these 10 people have to get full licenses. We'll eat that. But like, since we don't pay for FSC, but we've built FSC-esque functionality over the course of the last 15 years.
but that would be like saying that if you had one of the other financial packages that are out there in the market and you didn't get FSC, now we're going to charge you for FSC licenses. That's crap.
That's what I'm getting at is like, I don't know
Yeah.
if that's where it's coming from, if anybody's had to deal with that, because I agree with you, but we didn't
think
expect to get this other ping.
It's more about, I mean, I don't know, but
I
my
mean,
guess
I
would
get
be
the
it's more about like having,
opportunity one because that's like bread and butter of their main model. Like
yeah,
you
or
get
like
access to
object access.
you get access to opportunities as standard object. You get whether you're really on Sales Cloud or Service Cloud, you have access to it. So
Right.
recreating that object kind of, I can see where they're saying you're kind of like developing something that's already proprietary, and especially if you created any of the functionality with it. But
Well, and it's the license type issue, right? Because like
right, and the
similar
license
thing is
type.
with Experience Cloud. Like if you're trying to build an object so that customers can access it without giving them partner licenses, I could see that being a problem. It's sort of similar.
Right.
Like, hey, you have this platform license that you're trying to give them Sales Cloud license access to a thing,
That's the argument,
which
right?
feels different than FSC service or like FSC functionality. Like that feels really different to me.
Yeah, I mean, underneath the covers though, it's still just license arguments,
Yeah.
and what I feel comfortable suggesting based on what I've read is that we have Sales Cloud licenses in an org. We also have platform licenses in that org, and we should have bought more Sales Cloud. That's kind of like the point of the thing.
Yeah.
But the MSA is written in a very kind of fluffy way, which in one interpretation suggests, and if there's other functionality you built and you could have bought a license, you should buy a license. And I'm like, I feel like that might be an extension, like that might be a stretch too far.
But you also said your org is 15 years old. FSC didn't exist 15 years ago.
Linda, we gotta put a pin in FSC. It's not necessarily about that. It's literally about building something, and if there's a license that offers that, can Salesforce force us to buy it? I agree with you.
God.
Right? Like It's
That's the whole thing with
it's-
like nonprofits right now are facing a big
yeah.
and TSP and versus AFNP, and that's a whole
So-
thing.
Squire, is this record only created after an opportunity is closed won?
As we don't leverage opportunity at all. This is a record that is created after the bankers say something happened. Like,
I'm sorry. Wait, what
Yeah.
did you say?
yeah. So let's change let's change the object just for a second, really, just to make sure it's clear. Like, let's come up with an example. Like, it's maybe it's a closeout. Doesn't even matter what we're closing out, but all it says is like, we did some business with this account for this much money on this date, and it went well. Like, that's literally the gist of it.
So I'm going to reframe this
Yeah.
a minute. This sounds like your users are using this object to only track closed won opportunities.
Kind of.
I
But not the opportunity process itself, just the close. Yes. Yep,
right.
you're
But you are replicating the use case of opportunity, but only in a closed won fashion. And this is what a lot of early adoption looks like. They only tell you about the closed won deals, and they delete the closed lost ones until you catch on to them.
Yep.
And I can see how that would be a thing, right?
Yeah.
And when I was doing my Googling, because that's what I like to do, one of the things was talking about, like, if you have this object, make sure it hangs off the object that it's being compared to, but you're not even using the sales process.
Nope.
And so now I see very clearly why Salesforce would say this thing, because how do you have customer service if you don't sell anything? You're selling something, but someone else voice over in my ears is speaking.
In the not even minute that we have left, I had a customer 7 years ago, that had a similar type of situation. They had a more feature-rich license and a less feature-rich license, and these users did a thing that they were allowed to do. There was essentially some data that was moved into another custom object, and then these users leveraged that. That was found to be in violation of the MSA, because the life cycle of the data was essentially like, these people don't have access to this stuff, so we're going to copy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They don't have access to it. By copying it to give them access to it and replicating the data and then keeping the data in harmony, or if you don't need to keep the data in harmony, whatever, that is essentially circumventing the need for the license in a fairly clear way. What we were able to do at the time was say, there was not a good understanding that this was against the MSA. Let's all operate in good faith and just let's all establish a timeline for how long it's going to take us to fix. And that, like, it was very amicable.
Yep.
There was a pretty long runway. It was reasonable, at least given the challenge. And you should be able to work around it or get to a good place.
That's a pretty good assessment, I think, of what Salesforce was seeing, and what we also, during renegotiation, we're going to have to come up with. In this case, we've got 7 completely unique and segregated business units. So business 1 is using this deal. It's called deal. Using deal. Yeah. It's not leveraging the other people's opportunities in any way. There's not a transfer of data, but Salesforce from the outside wouldn't know that. So that's part of that conversation we'll have to have as well. If we might get free and clear, we might have to rebuild it. We'll worry about it. But to your point, it feels more along the line of like, within org, we're trying to cheat the licensing agreement versus like functionality org to org or cloud to cloud. Is that a fair assessment?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
In my understanding of it, yes. The other thing that I want to say before we get off the phone, just for sake of saying it out loud, since I can look you up on LinkedIn and figure out where you work, we should cut this from the recording.
Oh, fair enough. I actually might be okay with them having a better conversation with me, but I appreciate your thoughts.
I mean, totally up to you.
Because they tried to throw they threw the law dogs on us, but didn't have a really good collaborative conversation. So then we had to go lawyers against lawyers to put a pin in it. Yeah. So anyway, fair assessment.
with that, everybody, thank you for joining us today. I appreciate
Stop
it.
recording, stop
All
recording,
of you
stop.
contributed. And stay safe out there. We'll see you in a couple weeks. What's the next day, Squire? What did we
First
say?
Friday of August is the
Shoot,
4th.
shoot. There we go. August 7th. August
7th.
7th. I want to go back to
Thanks,
this
everyone.
one. Yay. All right.
Yay.
Congratulations, Linda. We're so excited. We're so
About
excited.
time.
I
know.
About
I know.
time.
Bye, all.
Bye.